What's up? We're live.
Hey guys.
Live number 2. Oh shoot. Hold on a second. Yeah. Already messing it up. We just started. Sorry, babe. Sorry. Don't get mad at me. Hi. We're gonna wait a little while to get really started. I'm gonna move some stuff around here. See how it's going. Who's here? Say stuff.
What's up?
If you can see us. Oh, audio. See, that's me. All right. Awesome. What do you want to see, babe? This side, or do you want to see?
No.
That's good.
Put it over there.
Well, but then we can see here.
Oh yeah, that.
So we're still learning how to use this this YouTube thing. It'd probably be easier. Maybe we can do some Instagram stuff too, like live Instagram videos. But we're trying out this YouTube stuff. Hi, Yahida. I see you. So I mean, you can chat with us, by the way. I'm not sure on what side is it. I think it's on that side, right? You can chat with us. Just make sure you say hi, ask us questions. Yeah, it's on that side. So hopefully everything's working out. Right now, we are in a super hot garage, and you can talk as well.
Shh, don't tell them it's our garage.
I mean, we are here in the studios.
In our fancy studio, with our fancy wall.
Fancy wall. Just don't hit it, because you'll fall over. But what are we going to talk about today? Let's get into it. What are we talking about?
We are talking about Diego going to school.
Diego going to school, which has been interesting. It's been like a roller coaster, kind of, right?
No.
No? Just all around good?
It's been good. I don't think there has been any negative.
I think maybe for me it's been a roller coaster because I haven't really gotten to experience it as much as you have. Like, all I got was drop him off once. And to me, he said, bye, bye, bye. Like, okay, let's start there. Let's talk about the fact, first of all, he's 2 years old and 4 months.
Yep. Almost 5 months.
Almost 5 months. In September it'll be 5 months. So, 2 years old, 5 months, and he's already going to school. This was really tough. Talk about why it was tough, because there's a lot of different reasons I went into it, but I want to hear it from your side, like why it was tough to say yes to taking our 2-year-old to school.
It's not tough. Why is it tough?
No. Don't pretend. No, we're being real. You said that you were having a hard time really, like you felt bad for a bit.
Oh.
Like feeling like take them.
No,
and you felt like you were being a bad... Ox, quiet! Anyways, that's our dog, Ox. May not make an appearance later.
I see what you're saying. I felt bad because I felt like maybe we were sending him off to school at too young of an age. Like, he's not going to have fun anymore. Can you stop?
Just keep talking. You're fine.
Confusing me.
You're fine.
Jeez. What was I saying?
You were thinking that he wasn't gonna have fun anymore.
No, not I don't know. I just felt like he was too young to be in school. You know what it is? Your mom actually said to me that I can't even think. I can't even think right now what's going on with me.
Go grab some water or something if you need to. I'll hold him up. I'll do like a dance and juggle or something.
Like we're making him grow up too quickly.
At 2, because he's going to school at 2.
Yeah.
But then okay, so...
But he's ready.
He's totally ready. I think he loves it.
He loves it. And he's all about learning. And he didn't cry when we dropped him off.
He didn't cry at all.
So the first day he did say, bye, Daddy. Jerry took the day off so that we can take him. And
shout out to my work who let me take the day off, by the way. But, yeah.
And when it was time to say goodbye, Jerry said goodbye, and he just waved at Daddy and said,
bye,
Daddy.
Bye, Daddy.
And then I said my goodbyes, and he said, Mommy, no bye. He was fine. He just said, "Mommy, no, bye." And I was like, okay. So I just kind of like tagged along. They had a little play kitchen that he was playing with, and he was giving me food and then giving Daddy food, and literally 2 minutes passed by, and I just said my goodbyes again, and he kept playing, and that was it.
Yeah, it wasn't even that big of a deal. And I think he was so like into the toys that were there. There was like a little kitchenette area outside in the school, and he just right away ran to that. He made us like a little plate of.
Yeah, I had a banana.
I
had a banana, and you had a lemon.
Which he knows us very well because she's a monkey and I like lemons. And so it was cool to see him like right away take to the school that way.
The independence.
The independence of it. Yeah, it was pretty neat. And then I think as we were driving off, I'm the one that got emotional. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah. He's like, I was like, do you feel like crying? And she said, no, I think I'm good. And I'm like, I feel like crying. So that was really, it was emotional for me, like just that part of it. And now in the mornings, I try not to think about it when he's going to school. But I know one of the biggest things, again, just kind of going back to what she was saying, is like we felt like, oh man, maybe we were like not letting him enjoy
his childhood and just putting him into school so quickly.
Which is ridiculous because the school itself is all about playing and
that's exactly what I was going to say. Like, they are 2 years old. They're not sitting him at a desk, making him write his name out. They're playing. And they're interacting with other kids, and I think that's really important.
Okay, do you want to talk about, like, why?
Only school. They do practice English a little bit, as, like, if it were their second language that they're learning, but it is a Spanish-speaking school. And we just had to jump on the opportunity. One of the other reasons why we decided to send Diego to school at a young age is because learning a language is so much easier for them at this age. Yeah. And when else is it going to happen? Like, we try to speak to him in Spanish at home, but the reality is that naturally we just speak in English to each other.
Even though Spanish was my first language.
And it was mine too.
And so we learned it because we were just... That's all we really heard, except for maybe our mothers, right? So my mom, her mom, and then, well, your grandparents, my grandparents. But I think she more so got exposed to Spanish than I did because, or I should say English. I'm sorry, English more so than I did because you actually were coming to school here. But your first language was always...
I learned it together. I definitely learned it together, but my main language, you could probably say, was Spanish. And I'm talking about my first couple of years. Not even as like a 5 or 6 year old. I was probably more fluent in English by then. Mm-hmm. But my first words, my first main language that I'd communicate in the most was Spanish.
So it was a gift for sure that our parents gave both of us, and it's a gift that we want to give to our children. And, it starts with Diego. If we have kids in the future, God willing, then they're going to get that same exact gift that we got from our parents. And that is to speak Spanish, read Spanish, and write Spanish.
And so Diego is bilingual now. He does speak some Spanish. Some words are in English. Some words are in Spanish.
Words like, real quick, watermelon. Instead of saying watermelon, he says aguamelon, which is...
Because he
agua
knows...
is water.
He knows...
Water as agua. So he says aguamelon instead of watermelon. So things like that, we hope, I think he understands that there's two different languages that he's speaking, which is kind of weird to say, but I really do think that he gets a sense of that. Like he'll say yes, sí, or no. Things like that. Like you can just hear it in his voice, the way he says certain things. And man, he's been using his imagination so much. But we'll talk about that, later on.
So he, like I said, he is bilingual, as much, words as he knows now. Mm-hmm. But knowing that Jerry and I, our go-to is speaking in English, we wanted to make sure that he properly learned Spanish. And even though he gets a lot of Spanish practice with his grandparents, we wanted to go a step further than what our parents did. We are bilingual, but
just keep going. It's just a dog. Whenever I'm recording a podcast, it's the same exact thing that happens. And people will tell you, like, listen to the podcast. You'll hear Ox in the background just, you know, he just invites himself to the show. So it's all right.
So we decided we wanted to go a step further. We don't have any formal Spanish education.
Lies. I actually do.
Liar.
I did. I took Spanish classes, not out in high school, but in elementary school.
Did you really?
Yes. So I actually did learn Spanish. Like, I took some classes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I take that back. I never had any formal Spanish education.
But it wasn't to the extent that Diego's going to get, for sure. Like, not even close. It was all... My Spanish education was my mom, basically, and my dad giving me books in Spanish, making me write in Spanish.
See, at home, I didn't have that.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to make sure that he learns it well. And, you know, it's day 4 happened today, and he's doing really well.
Yeah, it's really neat. But you probably don't have the book to show them. But I actually look forward to finding out how the day went. So there's a book that comes back with him home. Mm-hmm. And we can talk about this now, right? Or do you want to go into kind of like...
That's fine.
Okay. So the book comes back, and then on there, the teacher writes... you know, he was feeling like this, so there's like a happy face, a sad face, it's just okay face, like a frowny face or whatever, and then they check it off what phase they like, if they were grumpy or if he was happy, and then how much of the food they ate, if they ate nothing, some of it, or all of their lunch. That Nydia has been awesomely doing a great job of packing, by the way.
4 days.
But it's been looking super good. Like, I want you to make my list. And then spoiled little child. And then if he went pee or not, like, or poop, and then a little note of, you know, how he did, and if he did something good or something bad, and then the teacher signs it, and then she has to sign it to say, okay, I found, you know, I saw what it was. I read this. It's really cool. So I actually look forward to that sort of stuff.
Me too.
And
it makes me a little sad. It actually makes me a little sad because yesterday and today they didn't have notes. Which
is probably a good thing.
I know, right? But it was just checked off, you know, that he ate all his food, and checked off that he peed in the potty. One day he's had an accident, so.
Yeah, but it wasn't every single day, so that's
good.
I
look forward to the little notes. Oh, he was so happy today, and I'm sure he was still happy, and, you know, they're busy. They have to deal with a lot of kids. Yeah. So, but.
That's super cool. So yeah, at first I was feeling kind of the same thing, like, oh my gosh, he's, you know, we're gonna take some of his childhood away, but he's having so much fun, and he talks about the niños, the niños outside, yeah, who play, slide. What else does he say?
He actually says we.
Oh, the we, in the we, because it's wee down the slide, so he calls it a we.
Big cry.
Oh, like if there's another baby that cried or something, and the client says big cried, and he tells us all about his day. It's really cool to see, and he's like putting a bunch of things together, and he's saying things now that I don't think even Nydia knows that he's listening and says. What did he say yesterday that you say a lot? There's something that you say quite a bit. I'll remember. It's gonna hit me later on. It's like at the tip of my tongue. But there's a little like saying thing that you have. And he just started saying it.
Well, today, he's actually with my parents right now. He decided he wanted to stay, and grandparents were generous enough to let him. And we're like, yes.
Yeah, so we could do this with you guys. I'm all red, but.
And I kept saying, vámonos, because it was time to leave. And he didn't want to leave, and he'd say to me, no vámonos, no vámonos. Mm-hmm. He learned grande today. So and not just big. He always says big, and I'm like, baby, how do you say big in Spanish? ¿Cómo se dice big in español? And he looks at me and he goes, grande. So pretty adorable.
It's been awesome. And he's like really picking a lot of things up right now. He's at that age though where he's a handful. So that's gonna happen quite a bit today. I'm sorry, guys, but the him being a handful right now, the way he is, and school kind of it's perfect timing right now, because we're going through a time where she needs to be concentrating a little bit more on her work, and there's things that I need to do as well. I just joined the gym. She's been going to the gym now for a while. I just joined the gym about a week and a half ago now, and started that. And so we need a little bit of time to ourselves too. And I think just in general, you know, from kids, you need some time.
I'm going to go close that door.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And so while I'm alone, I'll tell you that, no, there's been a lot of different changes kind of going on right now. And then this Diego going to school is like really a blessing in disguise. I think he's going to learn a lot more than, you know, there's going to be times when we can't dedicate to him. And so it'll be nice for sure to welcome back.
Hi.
To have that extra time, and then also him learn Spanish, which is really big.
That's
really
huge
big.
So even though I was feeling a little, you know, concerned about sending him to school at a young age, I just feel like if we don't take the opportunity now, like when are we going to do it? Once he's actually of age to start kindergarten or first grade, you know, actually start elementary school, primary school, like we probably won't have that opportunity anymore. So we're trying to, what's the word I'm looking for?
Jumpstart. Take advantage of.
No, well, yeah, we're definitely trying to take advantage of it, but like, just have him soak up as much as possible before he goes to kindergarten. Soak up as much of the Spanish language as possible.
It's going to be super useful for him, and I think he's going to thank us for this time, too.
I hope so.
I really do. So the school that he's going to is very specific in this approach and the style of how they teach, which was also a really big reason why we said we got to do this. I don't know much about the actual specifics. Maybe Nydia can talk about that a little bit.
Okay. So
yeah, give him a rundown of how that works.
Diego is going to a Reggio Emilia school. And what that means is, if any of you have heard of Montessori, it's very similar to Montessori, except that Montessori is...
It's a private school, by the way.
It's individual based, so they grow, they work individually. Whereas Reggio is group-based. They work and they learn with the support of each other. So we thought that was pretty cool. And it's also, the biggest thing about Reggio Emilia is that it is, here, you know what? I don't want to mess it up, so I actually pulled this up. The Reggio Emilia approach is an educational philosophy focused on preschool and primary education. It is a pedagogy. I had to look up how to say that because... Pedagogy described as student-centered and constructivist that utilizes self-directed, experiential learning in relationship-driven environments. The program is based on the principles of respect, responsibility, and community through exploration and discovery through a self-guided curriculum. At its core is an assumption that children form their own personality during early years of development and are endowed with 100 languages through which they can express their ideas. The aim of the Reggio approach is to teach how to use the symbolic languages, for example, painting, sculpting, drama, in everyday life. It was developed after World War II by psychologist Loris Malaguzzi and parents in the villages around Reggio Emilia, Italy, and derives its name from the city. So.
Don't do the tapping because they can hear it.
Sorry.
I'm going to call you out in front of everybody. She's doing a tapping thing. If you heard that, that was her.
Sorry.
But there you go. So as you can see, it's based a lot around something that I was recently brought to light. I think we're both. Well, we kind of already knew it, but we got a little bit of like a. You're definitely this. We were both born very artistic. We're artists. Kind of just, it's in our blood. Mm-hmm. And what do I mean by art? There's a lot of different ways that you can express what art itself is. But to us, art is like our life. Everything that we have done throughout our life has been in a way to express ourselves. So art is the way that we express ourselves. And the way that this school is teaching, to go back to this idea, is it's perfectly fit with the approach that we would take in educating our child. So it's almost like we're teaching him anyways, but somebody's helping us actually, during the day, basically. But it's really based on the art. So they do sculpting, they do painting, they do drama, they do all of that.
The biggest thing actually is that it is a self-guided curriculum. So they ask you, why is the sky blue? And the teacher doesn't say the sky is blue because of this. No, they go back and say, well, why do you think the sky is blue? And it lets their mind kind of figure it out on their own with the guidance of a teacher. Mm-hmm. Or let's say the students take interest in a family vacation that they just came back from. Let's say they saw the Mayan ruins and whatnot, and they're really into it, and they're all talking about it. And instead of saying,
instead of saying, why can't you do things without me?
I can't multitask. It's throwing me off with what you're doing.
Don't look at the screen. Just look at that button right there.
But I look at myself.
Well, that's... Wow. So everybody just got to meet the real you right there.
I'm not used to being in front of...
There you go.
Thank you. Hi! Good to see you again.
Sorry, again, she's still getting used to this whole thing. I'm already a professional, you know me.
Sorry. So, if they are interested... I'm not talking to you. If they are interested in the Mayan ruins and whatnot, they will base their curriculum around what the kids are interested in. So they will base their... I mean, at the age they're at now, they're too young for math. But let's say, at whatever age, they're, they base math or English or history all around the Mayan history.
The Mayans. So, real quick, I want to make sure you guys know that this is not sponsored by anybody in Reggio Emilia or anything that does that type of school. Reggio Emilia is the style of this specific school. But we're not sponsored by them or anything. It's just, this is where Diego is going, so we wanted to share that with you guys. Yeah. And just kind of the style and why we decided it was going to be a good fit for our family and for him to go over there, and why we decided we were going to send him off into, at 2 years old. But it's still been kind of like, I personally am like, man, I really do hope that this is good for him. And I really, really do think that it is, but still sometimes there is that doubt because it's the unknown and because we're still new at it. Again, this is his 4th day today, and, he's still many more days to go. But I also keep telling myself, he's going to be going to school for a lot more time and a lot longer. Like, this is just the beginning for him.
No, and I think that was part of why I felt bad sending him to school at such a young age. Like, he's going to be in school for so many years, what is it, 12? It's 12 years, right? Yeah. Plus kindergarten, 13, and now I've added on 2 more years, like...
Oh, and then plus college if he decides that he wants to go to college.
Yeah,
and if he can afford it.
But I want to talk about something just a little different, about the feelings of him going off to school. Feelings. I had a lot of people ask me, are you nervous before his first day? Are you nervous? Are you scared? Are you sad? No, a little bit of everything, but most of all, and I'm not ashamed to say it, I was excited.
Okay, but
so excited.
But honestly, what did you tell me when we were driving?
Oh, no. 5 minutes before we were pulling up to the school and my hands were starting to sweat. I was totally nervous. But was I scared? I wasn't scared.
No, you weren't
I was
scared.
just nervous because it was something new. But I was listening to a friend talk about how she's so excited. Listening to her today, actually, about how she's so excited for her kids to go back to school from vacation and how it's a normal thing to feel that. You know, it's not bad. It's not a bad thing as a parent. It doesn't make you a bad parent. And, you know, these are people with kids that are older already. They're more experienced. And I'm over here like, is it bad that I felt excited that, you know, it's only my first baby and I'm sending him off already? I was super excited, you guys.
I mean, that feeling doesn't come to me, but I can understand where she gets it.
I'm at home with him every single day, and I love it. I really, really do. You know, I may complain about certain things every once in a while, but honestly, I mean, come on.
No, I know.
I get to raise my kid, and I'm fortunate. You know, not a lot of people get to say that. Not a lot of people get to stay home with their kid.
Yeah.
Some people don't want to stay home with their kid, and that's what I'm getting at. That it is okay. Yeah. That does not make you a bad parent. I think we're great parents.
I think we're pretty good.
I think we're trying really hard. And us being excited for him to be at school, to send him off to school, to maybe have, 1 to 4 hours in the day. Me, anyway, because I was home with him all day. It's normal, and it's okay. And there's no reason to feel ashamed about it. So
we were recently asked to give parent advice, and so this is going to be my first bit of parent advice from Wrench and Thread and on a live video. This is going to be number 1 right here. If you have parenting books, throw them in the trash right now, because I read a ton of them, and none of them are going to apply to you because everybody's different. Yeah. None of it. Okay. Maybe don't throw them away. Maybe that's extreme. Because there's going to be little tints.
I'm not saying they don't apply.
No, there's going to be snippets of the book that you're going to be
able to... The way we potty trained came from a book.
Okay. There's going to be things in these books that you can take and use for yourself, but you're not actually going to go exactly like word by word.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
And make it work for you.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to say. If you would let me talk, that'd be great. So that was exactly what I was trying to say. They just, take what you can from it, but really, just be ready for the unexpected, because everybody's different. Like, whenever we talk to other parents, they're like, oh, really? It was like that for you? It wasn't like that for us. It was like this for us. And then, oh, really? That fast? Well, he did this, and then so it's always going to be different. And
more so, don't get discouraged if
that's a big one.
Doesn't go the way the book says it's gonna go, because same thing. Every kid is different. Every kid has their own little personality.
The worst thing you can do is judge your kid's abilities by somebody else's kid. That's the worst thing you could do, because everybody has their own time for everything, right? That's a really big one. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add to that?
Not much.
Feelings. I was really nervous for him, because, I look at him honestly, and I'm like,
he was going to do great.
Oh man, how is he gonna freaking react to these other kids? He's very because he is an only child. We're going through this phase where he's very mine, very defensive, and like he wants everything for himself. He doesn't want to share.
Mine.
And then he goes, no. And we're trying to stop that right now. And so now that he's in school, that was one of my words, was like, he's gonna punch somebody in the face. And he did.
No, he didn't punch somebody in the face. But the teacher did tell me that one day he was swatting a lot, like, to the other kids.
I think they're flies or something. It's messed up.
And I was like, oh no. I told her that we're trying to work on that at home as well. And the following day I asked her how he did with that, and she said that he was actually doing a lot better because the other kids weren't letting themselves either. So like I said, every little kid has their own personality, and kids are not pushovers, you guys.
No,
I mean,
no, they're a lot smarter than sometimes we, think that they are. And also, I think now that you're saying that, it just popped into my head that the work that we're doing here to try to teach him, I think he's probably gonna learn a lot better being around other people, and a lot faster. He's gonna understand that that is not okay.
Right.
Being out with, the
'cause
other
he-
niños,
he-
niñas.
He thinks it's a joke when we try to explain
Yeah,
things to
he
him.
thinks it's hilarious.
Yeah, so we're really excited for what he will learn at school.
Yeah.
Not just, education wise, but they're two, they're still learning how to live and how to play and how to react with other people, and I think he's doing great.
It's the journey. I'm really learning to appreciate the journey of being a parent, of parenting, and learning how to be a parent. The thing is, you never really stop learning. You always kind of keep growing, I think, as a human. So I'm going to imagine it's the same for parents. It's just part of life. We're gonna make mistakes, here and there that we may feel are mistakes, and it may actually not be. At the moment, we'll feel like, oh man, we shouldn't have done that, or
even the
whatever
other
it may
way
be.
around.
We may feel like we're doing the right thing, and we're actually not. That's another thing. You don't think about that too. That's a really good point.
And all you can hope for is, or just do your best, and
yeah. Yeah, parent life though. See how we're like, it's so nice he's not here today though. Yay.
Oh, but I miss him.
I know, I miss him too.
What's wrong with us?
We're just like bipolar or something. We're just on.
That's the parenting
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
I miss my baby, and as soon as you see him and you get your hug and your kiss and grandparents leave, you're like, oh, damn it.
Yeah. Oh, darn, gotta take care of him now. But thank you guys for watching. Do we want to talk about something else? You want to keep going?
I don't know. A couple people that are here. Do you have any questions? Any comments?
I don't know if there's anybody else. I was trying to get on social media as well. But there's a couple of you on here watching. If you're watching, say hi on the chat on the right hand side, like Yahida did. Thank you for saying hi. Nobody else is saying hi, but I know this was a little bit kind of like last minute. We didn't plan ahead for it too well. That was our bad.
We planned ahead about it because we knew since the last live feed.
We kind of did, yes.
That we were going to have another live feed at the end of the month.
That's true.
Forgot to.
The tapping.
Sorry. Tap, tap, tap.
So, what was I going to say? Oh, so just some of the things that we're doing. So not only is he going to school, he's also doing swim lessons, which he's been doing now for how long?
Since he was a year old, so a year and a half.
So,
but we took some time off when he was potty training, so we took about 3 months off from January to March. But yeah, that's going really well too. We were gonna stop, and then he kind of like made a breakthrough with his swimming, and we decided, okay, it's not time to stop yet.
Yeah.
So.
What did he? What was he saying? What does he call it when he goes swimming?
He wants to go 1-2.
He wants to go 1-2
because it's 1, 2, 1, 2. So instead of saying swimming, he says he wants to go 1-2.
So of course, Ninja says, "Do you want to go 1-2?" Like out in public, and people are like, "What? Do you have diarrhea or something?"
I had never thought of it. Yeah. Oh my gosh, the mom brain. The things you say that sometimes you don't even realize what it may sound like to other people.
So he likes to go 1 and 2, 1-2.
Swimming.
1-2.
He likes to go swimming.
He likes to go swimming, and he has his favorite coach and everything. And
which we had to move from. Because he now goes to school Fridays.
That's right. So we moved it because he goes to school. Which that's been interesting. Too.
Yeah.
But
he goes Friday evenings now and Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's a journey. I think it's really cool that we have the opportunity to send him to school, which is a big one.
Of course.
I know that's not always there, and so that's really big for us. Like we thought about that as well. Hey, we have this opportunity of sending our child giving him an education and having him be given the gift of Spanish, the gift of a language, the gift of communication with a whole different culture than the one he's going to be brought up in. So, well, kind of, because we're going to bring him up in the Mexican culture too. Pero, like, it was really important for us to do that.
So that he doesn't start, hablando como nosotros, todos like
Porque
butchers.
sometimes hablamos en English y otras veces en español, and then people se hacen confused.
We're not that bad.
No, we're not that bad. But we can be if we want to. It's just, again, our parents gave us that gift, and now that we get to give that to our child, it's huge. It's really, really big. Don't feel bad about sending your kid to school, especially right now. I think this is really good to talk about because kids are off to school. I'm sure everybody's like, yes, our kids are at school. Don't feel bad about feeling that way. We're new at this, and we feel like that too. So, nobody's asking questions. I think we're going to call it a day and stop it and take advantage of the fact that Diego's not here right now.
Yeah, and actually grandparents called right before we started our live feed and said, oh, we're just going to keep him here. I'm like, okay, I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Yep.
Tata takes him to school, so we drive to their house every morning to go to school anyway, so
yeah,
I'm going to spend the night.
Oh, question came in. Until what age are you going to take Diego to the Spanish-speaking school?
Okay, I've been thinking about this, and I had originally thought kindergarten, because kindergarten is when...
They can start school here.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in preschool.
Yeah. But I'm debating on whether I want to keep him there longer. But the transition is what scares me. And more goes into it other than just the Spanish speaking, but we can't really go into all the details just for privacy issues. But
yeah,
that kind of transition from the school he's in now to, even if it's a private school, once kindergarten or first grade starts, it might be hard.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. I feel like we'll probably talk about it again, revisit that idea when he's closer to that age, because then we'll have a better idea of what he knows, what he doesn't know, and what is going to be best for him educationally wise.
Right.
And also, obviously, growth wise, just as a human, what's going to be best for him.
Yeah.
We want him to succeed and excel in everything that he possibly does, and of course, we're going to, make sure that while we have control of his education in this, in this age, we're going to make the best decisions for him. Hopefully. I think that's our job as parents. And because she always makes fun of me for the first time, sit up, look at your back.
I know. I'm crooked. Look, this is me straight.
She gives me a hard time.
No, I'm doing that because if I'm trying to be straight, I still look crooked. I have a higher, what's this one called again?
Look at my sleepy eye, too. I think it's the light. No, I have a sleepy eye.
I'm just going to be like this the whole time. No, my chiropractor, I have, my left leg is shorter, and my,
oh my gosh,
my right trap is higher, so, like, my whole body is, like, shifting.
Está chueca.
So, yeah, estoy chueca. So,
Suegro, refund.
So, even if I'm, like, straight, see, like, it's higher. So, I try not to, so. Why even try?
Because.
I crooked.
Oh, whatever. Okay. I think that's going to do it for us. Thank you, Yahida, for watching. No, thank you guys for watching. I'm sure you will see this after it's actually been live. Send us your questions and all that stuff. Comments, concerns.
Yeah, we'll still answer questions
outfit
schools,
suggestions. If you want me to wear a special outfit like lingerie or whatever. No, okay. I tried, guys. Sorry. So whatever that you would like us to do, we're gonna do. We're gonna do a lot more of these. I think we're gonna do another one on YouTube, but then we're also gonna try some Instagram live stuff.
Yeah.
And we'll announce it as it comes along. But next thing, we need to talk about second base. We talked about first base, and we've been doing first base really well. Which, by the way, check it out. It's on our other live video. It's in our, on our page on YouTube. But I'll also link it down there.
It's not a live video.
It is a...
No, it's not.
It's not.
It's a vlog.
It's a vlog. That's right.
It's there, though. Go check it out.
Yeah. So go check it out. If you have any questions...
It's called First Space Friday.
If you have any questions about the school or anything like that, you can personally DM us. We'll try to answer whatever we can.
Or in the comments, wherever. Just contact us. Send us your messages. Yeah. Send us your comments.
That's why we're here.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to get better and better about this, I promise. It's been a little bit of a hectic week, as you can see.
Here's a heads up.
Yes.
Live on YouTube last Wednesday of every month.
Last Wednesday of every month. That's what we're going to do. Yes, that sounds like a plan. So, last Wednesday of every month, we're going to do a live.
Remind us to remind you.
Remind us to remind you that we're going to do this again. All right? If you don't remind us to remind you, then it's not our fault. If you forget that we forgot when we shouldn't have forgotten.
Stop. Please.
Because we're the ones doing this. That makes sense.
Sure.
Go back and listen to it. It made sense. Anyways, I need some water because it's hot in here and my mouth feels dry. But the next time we're going to talk about, hopefully, second baseman. We'll talk about some other things. We have third base and home, which are also, just in case you guys were wondering, there's a process, all right? There's an actual thing that we're going to talk to you guys about.
Yeah, we're still working on it.
We're still working on it ourselves.
We got first base down.
We got first base down. We're dating each other. Every Friday we try to do it. If not, we leave it to a weekend day because...
It just works better out that way. And that's fine. So, like we've mentioned before, you guys, it doesn't have to be a Friday.
Yeah. And we're on a super tight budget. So once we go into finances and what we do for finances, I think you guys are going to want to stick around and see why Nita's, taking into account gasoline, like to the penny, because she's crazy. And I don't know what I'm doing with my life. But she does. So she has her finances down.
We're trying.
But again, thank you guys for watching. Long story short, yeah, we'll see you really soon. All right?
Yep. Thanks, you guys. Take care.
See you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.